Hello again, friends. Today we talk about a company that has been on my radar for a longer time every now and then, Tyson Foods. I have some understanding on Tyson Foods and food industry overall since I used to work almost 5 years at Little Finland myself, so I would say that this company should be in my circle of competence, so to speak. So I should know something about this industry. Let's see how this stock analysis turns out. Let's jump right in. What is Tyson Foods? We let ticker.com answer that. Tyson Foods Inc., together with its subsidiaries, operates as a food company worldwide. It operates through 4 segments: beef, pork, chicken, and prepared foods. The company processes live-fed cattle and live market hogs, fabricates dressed beef and pork carcasses into primal and sub-primal meat cuts, as well as case-ready beef and pork and fully cooked meats, raises and processes chickens into fresh, frozen and value-added chicken products, and supplies poultry breeding stock, sells specialty products such as hides and meats. It also manufactures and markets frozen and refrigerated food products including ready-to-eat sandwiches, flame-grilled hamburgers, Philly steaks, pepperoni, bacon, breakfast sausage, turkey, lunchmeat, hot dogs, flour and corn tortilla products, appetizers, snacks, prepared meals, ethnic foods, side dishes, meat dishes, breadsticks, and processed meats under the Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farm, Ballpark, Wright, State Fair, Aidells, and Gallo Salame brands. The company also offers its products under Tyson and IBP brands. It sells its products through its sales staff to grocery retailers, grocery wholesalers, meat distributors, warehouse club stores, military commissaries, industrial food processing companies, chain restaurants or their distributors, live markets, international export companies, and domestic distributors who serve restaurants and food service operations such as plant and school cafeterias, convenience stores, hospitals, and other vendors, as well as through independent brokers and trading companies. The company was founded in 1935 and is headquartered in Springdale, Arkansas. So, that is Tyson Foods, and now some other info about Tyson which I find interesting. It is the biggest company in their industry in the US measured by sales, so economies of scale we have with this company, and that can be a powerful moat in this industry, food industry. Meat industry has several companies operating in US, but there are 2 big ones and lots of few medium-sized companies. Tyson's biggest competitor is JBS with sales of 39 billion last year. Tyson had sales of 43 billion, so Tyson is a little bit bigger of these 2. Tyson does have debt to equity of 43%, but after checking their debt interest rates and maturities, and with 1 billion in cash the company has with extremely strong cash flows, I am just going to state that debt is not a problem for Tyson Foods and not a problem for me in this investment case. And by the way, in companies the responsible person for the debt is a CFO, and I have just learned that very recently Tyson switched their CFO, and the new CFO is John R. Tyson, son of board chairman John H. Tyson. Ideally, you don't want to see this happening, but if the man is good for the job, the new CFO, that would probably not stop me from investing in Tyson Foods. But if he does something wrong and don't get fired, that would be a huge red flag for me as an investor. So yeah, dad must have the courage to fire his son if the son doesn't perform well enough as a CFO of Tyson Foods. Yeah, if something goes bad, selling would definitely, if I were a stock owner of Tyson Foods, selling would need to be considered strongly, but it would all come down to the stock price and valuation at the time. Obviously, you cannot really treat all of these things separately, in my opinion. Well, not this case at least. It goes without saying that Tyson needs to be excellent in corporate governance moving onwards from here, since they have decided to put chairman's son as a CFO. Corporate governance needs to be excellent from now on. This is not an ideal situation, let's just leave it to that. I would prefer some outsider as a CFO, obviously. For some people, Then moving on to the next subject, we leave this one now behind. For some people, investing in meat industry can create some ethical questions, and I understand that. But as you have already probably learned, if you have watched Arctic Money before, I believe you need to be sometimes a contrarian to find good deals in the stock market. Even though the talk is strong in regards to cutting meat consumption worldwide down, and there are issues around the industry like animal welfare, global warming, health of people, and so forth, I believe people will still eat meat in the future, at least in the near future. And changing of eating habits can be devastatingly difficult, and eating is one of the simplest and best pleasures of being human. So future will only tell how we change our meat consumption, but I'm afraid it will not change so much as people might think in the coming 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah, I do enjoy myself eating a hamburger or a steak, but I also try to eat less meat all the time because I know it's better for the environment to eat less meat and it's better for my health too. But I'm not myself at least considering to go vegan from here. I believe in the European context where I live in Europe, Finland, it would be great if we could start treating meat a little bit more like candy, for example. It's okay on Saturdays, but try to eat something else during the 6 other days of the week mostly. Well, you know what I mean. Meat should be, in my opinion, and I myself, I try to treat meat more as a, you know, something like candy you can eat once a week, but you shouldn't probably eat it every week. Try to keep that as a treat, is what I try to say here. Well, enough about that topic. At least Tyson is acknowledging the issues in their industry and tackling them. Here's a quote from the earnings call. Beginning of the quote. In addition to the investments in people I mentioned a few moments ago, we also highlighted in our report our efforts around animal welfare, sustainable packaging, minimizing waste, water stewardship, and working within our operations and supply chain to reduce emissions. We are setting aggressive ESG goals and working to meet them, end of quote. Nice to hear them saying that out loud. They need society's license to operate as any business, so that goes to that. Then, Tyson is also constantly changing as a company according to consumer preferences, as they should be doing, obviously. With chicken consumption growing in relation to meat, they emphasize chicken in their portfolio. They are operating dynamically, which is nice to see as a potential investor. They are also investing in automation, which is good. Less manual labor needed, so the cheaper the cost will be in the long run. Well, these were my main notes on Tyson. Let's run Tyson now through Arctic Money criteria and see what's up with it. And now you have on the screen the Arctic Money criteria. Do I understand the business and the industry? 0 to 5 points. I give 4. I want to trust here my experience on food industry since I used to work within food industry in the past. Then does the business have moat? I give 3 points. It does have economies of scale, it does have good balance sheet, and it does have some established good brands. So I'm gonna give 3 points for the moat. Does the management team and the board have skin in the game? Well, the management has some, that's worth 1 point for me, and the board has 2 in the form especially of the Tyson family. The founding family has a big stake still in the company, and I like that, so I'm gonna give 3 points. Are insiders buying the stock? No, only selling at the moment, but I would not be surprised to see buying soon if the stock price keeps dropping more. And the selling happened when the stock price was significantly higher, so the selling in that level was quite understandable in my opinion. Are super investors buying or holding the stock? I found one. Yachtman Asset Management has a medium position on this Tyson Foods, so I'm gonna give 1 point for that. Are people who I follow buying or holding the stock? That's a 0 points. No, nobody is. And finally, DCF, intrinsic value, the most important part of the Arctic Money criteria, 0 to 20 points. I'm gonna give 13 points. The company is already undervalued for 10% a year returns in my opinion, but there is a little bit more, in my opinion, to go to have a sufficient margin of safety, and we will be checking the valuation very shortly. But before that, we get in Arctic Money criteria to the total of 24 points for Tyson Foods. So let's go and see how that compares to the ranking of other companies. And as said, all analysis points are given at the time of making the analysis. So the stock price at the time has a big effect on this final 0 to 20 points, obviously in the DCF valuation points. I have last updated all the companies in the list during the summertime, but I'm about to update it soon again. So stay tuned and subscribe Arctic Money if you're interested to see in the near future updated list of where I think I should be probably investing my money out of all these companies in the ranking. Of course, there is the risk exposure of the portfolio and how my portfolio is constructed would obviously and of course influences on what I actually will invest. But this ranking, when I do the update in the coming weeks, coming days, and I will do a video for you that would basically show where that will give us pretty good indication where I'm probably heading with my next investments. So if you if you're interested in that list, subscribe to the channel now. You won't miss the video, and then you can see how it looks then. But nevertheless, let's check the unupdated ranking now, and you can see it on the screen right now. As we can see, Tyson Foods got 24 points, and that gives you place number 10. As you can see, green companies are the ones I own. I have them in my portfolio. Red ones I don't. Tyson Foods is pretty close to those points on the green side. So as you probably already know, it's all about the stock price for me, given the things I have just said. So let's now turn to the valuation itself and see more in depth when would be the time I would invest in Tyson Foods. So the stock price is now at the time of making this video $64, with taking into account 10% annual returns as a discount rate for my valuation. I end up with the fair value of Tyson Foods being, with, as said, 10% annual returns, in my opinion, somewhere around $89. So $64 the stock price now, fair value for 10% returns, in my opinion, $89. So according to that, the company is undervalued already. But as with any investment, you want to have margin of safety, and with margin of safety, the Arctic Money buy price target for Tyson Foods is $58. So as if the stock price keeps on going downwards as it has been going, we might reach that $58 level sometime in the near future, and once that happens, it is likely that I will invest in Tyson Foods myself, taking into account that none of other stocks in my portfolio or on my watch list would be even a better deal. Obviously, then I would go for the better deal and not Tyson Foods. So I not necessarily investing in $58, but most likely that would be the kind of level I would want to become Tyson Foods owner myself. So $58 is the buy price target for Arctic Money here. Well, these were my assumptions, my guesstimations, and results of my crystal ball on Tyson Foods. Only my opinions on this channel. No financial advice ever on this channel, as you know. You know it. How do you see Tyson Foods yourself? Let me know in the comment section below, and until next time, see you in the next video. Bye bye.